I guess we're going to do this, huh? Okay, let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for taking the time out to come and check it out. I'll explain my hesitation in a moment, but first I want to just kind of introduce myself and the idea of the channel and introduce myself to the YouTube community. I'm going to speak a little bit about that word community because it's very important to me. In fact, I think it's the purpose of me starting this channel and how I've been able to really derive so much joy and entertainment and happiness from a simple little thing like reselling. But let me start at the beginning. My name's Mike Camparelli, and I sell on eBay. I started 5 years ago, pretty much when a lot of other people started when the pandemic hit. And I was an electrician for about 45 years. The name of my company was Metco Electric, and hence the name Mike Metco. I use it for my eBay store name as well, and now for the channel to kind of keep the brand up. As I said, I started in 2020, just when the pandemic hit, and for the first time in my life, I had the opportunity to do something different because I had always worked in my business or whatever other activities that I had, kind of in type A type personality, and I really go full force with whatever I do, with the exception of anything else. And when the pandemic hit, like I said, the first time I had the opportunity to try something different, because being an electrician and doing service work, I'd have to go into people's houses. But at that time, no one was allowing into your house. So I said, okay, let me give this eBay thing a try. I had been interested in it, but never had the time or the inclination. And I said, let me check it out, see if I like it. And I loved it. I really did. Within a very short time, I was doing pretty well. I loved it, and I really didn't know anything about it, just like I don't know anything about YouTube right now as well. So this might be a little bit raw. I apologize, but I'll get better. I'll as you do things and you improve as you go along. So I was learning the craft of eBay, not knowing anything about it. So I did what anyone else will do when they're embarking on a new hobby or activity or whatever. I checked out YouTube to kind of give me a little education. So I engulfed myself in the YouTube world of reselling content, and I learned a lot. I started off watching whatever I could watch. I watched like the Craigslist Hunter and Cincinnati Picker, Dominic the Primetime Treasure Hunter. It was a good show. Lonnie from Shed Flips back when he was Garage Flips and the Getaway Gang. I watched John from Flippin' Ain't Easy when he first started. And I watched Trash to Cash, whoever I can. And like I said, I did it specifically with the intent of learning something that I had no information about prior to it and trying to learn from other people's mistakes without having to go through them myself. And it served me well. And I found that in addition to being educational, it kind of kept me company, because, anyone who's into reselling will tell you that it's kind of a lonely game. Here I am sitting in my eBay room, and you sit and you list all day, and it was kind of like lonely. Your family and your friends really don't get it. Their take is like, you go to garage sales, you buy all of this crap, and you sell it for a profit on eBay. Yeah, well, that's what we do, but they didn't get it. And I'm very enthusiastic about eBay and now about being on YouTube, and I'm a talker, and I would like get someone's attention and just talk and talk and talk, and you could just see that they really were not interested at all. The eyes would roll, and I learned, once that was the case, just kind of shut my mouth and keep it to myself, which was cool. So by watching all these YouTube videos and being able to relate, not personally, but through the camera, through the screen, about all these other people, my people, that get me. It was cool just watching them. And as I said, I started, learning a little bit about selling on eBay and learning as much as I could and being informed and entertained by everyone. I found that I was listening to Katie and Vicky, and they had mentioned this reselling event, Boss Reseller, the first one that they had. They're a couple from Vegas, and explained that eBay used to have the eBay Opens, but they stopped doing that, so they kind of felt like they could fill a gap by having an event, in Vegas. And like I had never known about meetups. I had no idea that was even a thing, but it definitely appealed to me. So, well, I got to check this out because I like to travel. I have the good opportunity that I'm not tied down. I'm single, and I can kind of go, come and go as I please. And I like to get away. So I said, let me check this event out. And I tell you, all I can say is that I was blown away from what I've experienced there. Again, I didn't really, so it gets back to this concept of community. I did not realize that there was a community surrounding the whole, reselling world, but you had to kind of go out and search it. You had to go out and find these people. And I'll go on a little later about how you don't really have to go that far. But this was the first event that I went to. And like I said, I loved it, and I committed from that first remix that I'd be going to everyone I possibly could from then on. And I've done that. I've gone to pretty much all of them. I have the reputation for being the guy that's at all the events. And like I said, it's because I love it. And I'll explain why in a minute, why that's the case. But I did like it. So I went to, my first, the first event was in Vegas. So I had the opportunity to, meet up with some of the people that I had seen on YouTube and get to really have a one-on-one and meet them. Like, Carrie from American Arbitrage lived there at the time, and I got to meet him. I invited him and Dawn out to dinner, as well as John and Jenna from Flippin' Ain't Easy, who I've gotten very, very close with. I mean, they're really, they're really good friends of mine, and I look forward to going out and visiting them, whenever I can. And I've gone every year as time would permit. And Archie, I met Archie Biscuit out there. And again, the point I'm making is that I was able to go to these meetups and finally meet these people that I had seen on the YouTube many times before and actually get a personal relationship with them and really benefit from that relationship as far as helping each other out and learning and this and that. So it's pretty cool. So I continued to go to all these meetups and meet different people. I think the second one I went to was the first FlipCon, hosted by Harry Tornado, Josh and Haley and Caleb. And I met a bunch of people there. I met my very close friend Jefferson, who still has Pocket Change podcast at that first FlipCon. And, you take these relationships home with you as well. And then you look forward to meeting everyone else when you go to the next couple of them and renew the old acquaintances and make some new ones. And just really have a great time. I mean, I really can't advocate strong enough the importance of checking out these meetups. I mean, I go to all of them. I'm a nut, but I don't, recommend everyone to do that. But, check one out. If there's one that comes to your area, if you possibly can go, because you will definitely benefit by it greatly. I really mean that. So I continue to go to all of these meetups and really able to experience reselling in different areas, because there's each different area has their own particular personality when it comes to garage sales and thrift stores and this and that. And whenever I would go to these meetups, I take the opportunity to checking the local color, checking out the garage sales in the area, the thrift stores and everything, and kind of just making the most of it. Like if I would go to an event and then make sure I stayed like one weekend before or after and be able to check it out, check out the area and learn a little bit about that in addition to meeting the people. So I found that I really did enjoy going to all of these meetups and networking with the people and getting to meet them, as well. I had the last one, and it really serves me well, because you really get an opportunity now to really get, in with these people. I mean, when I first went to Trash to Cash, I got to know Dave and Carrie and Kevin really well, and we've continued that friendship, ever since then. And I look forward to seeing those guys and everyone else that I meet along the way. Really had a good time with them. Uh, I was I was invited by Archie to go to the stay with the reseller locker room guys in Crossville, Tennessee this last year. And as it turns out, Archie couldn't make it, but I went anyway. And I didn't know any of these guys at all, Ben or Alex, Shane, and Chris. But you know what? It didn't matter. I mean, they took me in. We had a great time, and we did, had a lot of fun. Went to the event, and had a little, the parties afterwards. Caught a little flack on that we partied a little bit too much, but anyway, it was pretty cool. And I in my dealings with everyone, people would encourage me to maybe start my own YouTube channel, and I never really felt like that was something that I wanted to do. First of all, I had this big time fear of being in front of the camera. I mean, I remember John and Jenna had invited me to be on their 10,000 subscriber celebration on the Flippin' Ain't Easy channel, and I went, but it was kind of under duress. I was really scared. I was really uncomfortable. I remember that whole day of the taping. I was really uncomfortable, but I did it, and it wasn't really great. But John was a friend. He invited me on, so I did it, and then a few times along the way, I've made other brief appearances, but it was still the same thing. I just was not comfortable doing it, and I would have liked to. I mean, I kind of as I said, I'm very enthusiastic about speaking about reselling, and I kind of think I have something to say. I mean, when I one-on-one with people, I can kind of chime in on the conversation and appear somewhat intelligent about it. But as far as this YouTube thing, I was not a fan until I went to the Crossville meetup, and I had the pleasure of being hosted by the locker room guys, who, as I said, they really treated me great. And they had done a live. They were scheduling a live right from Crossville, and there's a few guests at the house as well, and they were going to do a live and have kind of like a little quick interview with all of the guests. And I didn't want to do it, but I felt like I wanted to be part of the crew and contribute a little bit. So I said, look, all right, Ben, you can put me on, but 2 minutes and get me right off. I'll do my hello everybody and it's having a great time. And so they brought me up quick, and the word on the street was get Mike on and off, right away. And as to honor my request. Well, I don't know what it was, but just the comfortability and the trust and everything, and the really having such a great time that when I went on the live, I really felt comfortable, and I was kind of not ill at ease anymore. And they were gonna shoot me off after a couple of minutes. I said, no, wait, I can hang out a little bit longer. And I really immediately I had just developed the confidence to be in front of the camera. It just was like a transformation that just happened, total 180. Now with that newfound confidence, I said, well, I like this, and I'm gonna kind of get into it. So Jefferson Benz, who was at the B&B with us, he had, he's got the Pocket Change podcast, and I'm a personal friend of his, and he had been after me for a year or so to come on his podcast, and I had always says thanks, but no thanks. So immediately after that, gaining my confidence on that little live appearance that I had. I said, Jefferson, I'm ready. He said, what do you mean? I said, you've been asking me to come on your show. I said, I'm ready to do it. So like the next week, he booked me on as a guest, and I had like the full hour, and it was an interview, and it really went well. I tell you, I was very surprised. I looked back and I says, well, you know what, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. A week or so after that, the Locker Room guys invited me on as a guest for their show, and they bestowed upon me the honor of being called the ambassador to the Locker Room, which really touched my heart. And when they first gave me that honorary title, it was cool and all, but I didn't realize the significance of it until later on when I realized that I'm definitely an ambassador for the Locker Room, and that's a title that I will honor and cherish for the rest of my days, and I will dutifully honor the duties of the ambassador. But I'm an ambassador for the entire reselling community and the YouTube community as well, and that's kind of why what my thinking was on establishing this channel. So I went on the Locker Room, and it was really good. I enjoyed it, and the word got out that Mike's, because I've gained a little bit of notoriety because I'm pretty active in the community. I subscribe to everybody, and I'm a channel member of everybody, and I'm active in the chats, and people know me, but they didn't know me as far as being an actual YouTube quote celebrity. I guess that's celebrity is a precarious word, but anyway, so the word got out that I was on this channel, and I got like some people chiming in and saying, hey, Mike, you did good and everything. And I remember I got this one call from Rod Picking and Punching, and we had like this nice 45-minute conversation. And he was another one who was encouraging me to start my own channel. I said, well, and I had all the standard excuses. It's a lot of work, which it is, and I don't know. I don't know if I got it in me and everything. And basically, I said, and does the reselling world really need another channel? You know what I mean? There's a million of them out there, and believe me, I've definitely benefited by, viewing them all. But I didn't really feel that we needed another YouTube channel, so I kind of left it. Although I was getting a little bit more comfortable with being behind the camera. But he said something to me that kind of like stuck. He says, well, you know what? You definitely have something to say, and everyone has their own voice and their own message, and you'll find what speaks to you, and then when that happens, I think you'll be willing to start your own channel, and I think you'll be good at it. So I kind of like let that sit and simmer for a while, and I continued to go on to all my little meetups and gatherings and get-togethers and everything. After the Crossville event, I think the next thing I did was I had my own meetup. Now, the Boss Reseller Remix was every October for like three years straight, and this year in particular they didn't have it scheduled. They had a little scheduling conflicts, so Katie and Vicky had scheduled it for March, and it will be this March coming up, but there was nothing in October, and I couldn't wait. I mean, I've created such nice bonds with different resellers in the Las Vegas area that I couldn't wait. So I decided to have my own meetup, a little informal thing, not something that you pay for, or just like, get together at a restaurant. Because I really wanted to see, I was missing John and Jenna and Archie. And like I said, I know, everyone else in that community, Dawn and Carrie, who were just there, just about ready to move to Florida, to go by Dave's, live in Dave's area in Palm Coast. So I decided to make this a twofold meetup where it will be just kind of basic, general gathering of resellers, because we all like that. We like to hang out together, and also kind of a going away party for Dawn and Carrie. So it was great. So I had the opportunity of, again, like I says, hanging out with John and Jenna. I stayed at their house for a couple of days. That was nice. Archie, I love Archie. He just put me up the entire, stayed there for 2 weeks. And we did a lot of stuff. We went to see art of resell. He had a booth at the Broadacres flea market, and we went to visit him for a day. And Mikey Bags of Money was there, and Chris Easy Pickens from the Locker Room, who lives in California, made the trip and hung out with us. That was pretty cool. And Katie and Vicky, of course, who are my go-to travel agents for Vegas. I had asked some advice. It says, I want to have this get-together, and would you girls, recommend a spot for me? And they gave us a good location, and it was really cool. So that was a nice touch. So while I was at Vegas, staying with Archie, we were both friends with Roman from Roman's Adventures, and he invited us on his live, and Archie and I appeared. A little quick pop up, and great, yeah, I'm into it now. You've created a monster, and we were on his live, and it was a lot of fun. So let me see. I think that brings me current. I also went to the reseller rally that was sponsored this last year by Kevin Commonwealth Picker and Pete Craigslist Hunter and John Cincinnati Picker. And we went there, and I somehow or other was able to encourage John and Jenna and Archie to come. So I had, some other personal friends, and met a lot of other friends as well there. And again, it's just really a great time. I can't advocate enough how fun these things are and how beneficial. I mean, they really are from a business standpoint. It makes sense to kind of network and get together with everyone. So the last one that I was at was not really a meetup, but we made a meetup out of it. Dave had this sale from his storage container. So I don't know, maybe I'm nuts to fly to Florida for a garage sale, but it wasn't just that. It was an opportunity, again, to hang out with all of those guys. And Mike Deathpile Picker was there, and Rod and Kevin, Carrie, and Dave, and we really had a good time, and it's a lot of fun, So the point to be made is that the engaging in the community is something that really takes an otherwise lonely kind of gig, reselling online, and turns it into something where you have family, where you look forward to meeting everyone and getting together with them and thrifting with them and everything and having some fun. And I says, you know what, this is my kind of thing. When we were, where was it? It was, I was with Jefferson Benz, and yeah, it was at the Florida meetup. And Jefferson said to me, and he was been bugging me too to start a channel. And thank God for everyone for encouraging me, even though I always says, nah, not for me. But I always kind of like just paid attention, and it was kind of like growing on me, the idea. And once I had the confidence to do it, it was like more of a possibility. So Jefferson had said to me, Mike, I got a great idea for your channel. I said, well, yeah, what do you think? He said, look, you love the meetups. You go to all of them. Why don't you start a channel that's geared specifically towards the meetups? And like the light bulb went off. I remember what Rod had said a few months earlier about how when the idea, what's really speaks to me comes into view, I'll definitely click. And the combination of Rod's suggestion and Jefferson's suggestion said to me, okay, I found what I really want to do. And this will be kind of a little bit of a different channel. It's not going to be a big channel. I'm really not looking to monetize or have memberships or anything like that. I'm not going to do it like weekly or monthly. It's not going to be a picking channel or a thrifting channel or what sold video, whatever. It's basically going to be a meetup channel. And the idea is that whenever there's a meetup, I will do a series of videos surrounding that meetup. Like I'll start off before the meetup and maybe have interviews with the event hosts and have, kind of like get the word out, and even if it's something that I just come up with myself, I'll just, get the word out, I'm going to try to do something in St. Louis, something in Florida, something in North Carolina coming up. So I'll kind of get on the air and say, okay, this is the next thing that's going to come up. If you're in the area, whatever, if you have any questions, give me a call, and pretty much just advertise the event, right? Then once the event occurs, I'll be like the man on the street. I'll cover the event, all the activities. If there's such as in the first one's going to be the next sports in March 13th to 17th, I believe. Yeah, 13th. Yeah, and if they have speakers, so I'll interview the speakers. I'll do all, do the coverage of all the different events surrounding it, whatever garage sales we go to. And maybe then there'll be like a little, picking aspect of the video. But that's not going to be my main diet, just basically whatever events that are surrounding that meetup, like if there's local activities or whatever, or like we did Top Golf at one of the Trash to Cash events, and then we did miniature golf, stuff, little fun stuff like that. So I get the camera going and film all of that. And then the third aspect of each series will be like, aftermath, like back home, what did I pick up, because I usually go to a lot of garage sales and, during these events and bring a whole bunch of stuff home and have it shipped home. And I'll maybe do like a little haul video, and just to really show the differences between the different areas, what you can get, what it's like to thrift and whatever. So that's basically it. As far as what's coming up, the first one will be the Boss remix in March, and then the second one will be the Planes to Profit, hosted by Corey and Teresa Grams and Pops Vintage Alicia. It's in Omaha, and I'm going to be a sponsor for that one. And I've already spoken to Corey. We're going to set up some pre-event interviews and whatever, and kind of get the word out, and just give you an opportunity to see what's going on now. Again, I can't expect everyone to be as active as me and going to all of these events, and that's not my intention. But I just want to give you all an opportunity to see what's going on with these, and maybe encourage you to go one. Archie had made a good point. He says, look, when you do these videos, it's going to be a good thing for people who have FOMO about missing out on these events. So maybe they'll be able to at least enjoy watching, seeing what transpired through these events. And I kind of like just getting a little flavor of seeing the people and seeing what it's all about, and then maybe encourage you to go to one. Now, what I'm also going to do is, I think I'm going to start like a Facebook local group and start to encourage people in my area and show others how maybe they can do the same thing. Because you really don't have to fly across the country to have a meetup. You can do a meetup in your backyard. I mean, there's all these Facebook groups, local Facebook groups, and eBay even has a facility on their site about getting in touch with other, local resellers in your area, which again, I really encourage, because it's not like, we're very unique in that our competition are really not our competition. There's plenty out there for everyone. And as far as I've seen, there's never been any contention, between resellers when we get together and we go garage selling together or whatever. It's just we all support each other, because we do the same thing, but it's all, a little different. And we all encourage each other on. And that's what I really love about this community and the reselling community. And now that I am involved in the YouTube content provider community, I got to say, it's very humbling, because now I am a member of that group of people that I really had a lot of admiration for, a lot of respect for all their hard work and how they've really helped me and rounded me out in being a better reseller. So I want to thank them all for that. And I want to thank you all for spending the time and checking this video out, and hopefully you will join us as we go along and check out all of these different events, and hopefully I can do a small contribution to the reselling community and encourage these meetups. So thanks again for your time, and I will speak to you soon.